This is episode 326. Today we're going to talk about
what the fuck we're doing.
We're just going to talk about fast food and video games.
I mean, he's not wrong. Not exactly right.
In capacity.
Yeah. All right. Sorry, guys. I was like, yo, I'm gonna do a thing. I'm gonna make sure that the fucking setup that I have for the normal podcast is over in Nova, and then I did that and forgot that there's audio inputs, and so your dumb friend, aka host, aka your boy, forgot about that shit. So,
Hey, anybody play Ring of Elysium?
all right, thank you for saving me from that.
Anybody?
I don't know. I actually don't know anybody who did.
Any of you toxically competitive first-person shooter battle royale super fans have tried Ring of Elysium yet?
I downloaded it but never actually played it.
Wasn't that game like mobile only?
What? No.
No, I thought it was.
I think I downloaded it on PC.
You didn't even fire it up, not even once?
Nope. Eric was
funny.
like, dude, you need to download this, and then I never played.
That's like most of the games I've ever downloaded.
Zing was like, I've seen the movie Elysium.
Yo, I actually wanted to watch that again recently.
I watched it again recently. It's still very good to me.
Okay.
It's heavy. It's heavy-handed.
Yeah.
But I don't hate that.
We are French and we are money. we're Mexicans, so we're poor.
Oh my god.
Roll credits.
Dismount. Dismount. No, that is the whole movie.
Yeah. It's painful.
I mean, that's not the whole movie, but yeah,
it kind of is.
That's how they illustrate.
I was
the
being
disparity.
offensive because that's how the movie was offensive.
I don't know if it was supposed to be offensive.
Dude, the people living in dirt were Spanish, and the people living in the sky were French.
Yeah, it's illustrative.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I said it's heavy-handed. Ham-fisted,
even.
It's the same thing. It's the same fucking.
Also known as pork fingers.
I got big bones in my hands. How's everybody doing? That's how we start the podcast, and that's not how I started the podcast last week. Because again, your boy's a dingus. How's everybody doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Matt Damon's character was poor, and he wasn't Spanish. You fuck.
Yeah.
How you doing?
You mean the white savior? Cool.
Can we move past this? Why the fuck did you want to watch this again, you dick?
Shit show? Is this what's going on here?
Ben was like, I wanted to watch this movie again. Actually, no, I didn't.
I want to watch it
worst.
For the robots and the special effects.
Well, that's just racist. Why are robots better than people?
Okay. So
we had 5 viewers in the chat. We have 4 now. So I just want you to know this conversation has alienated una persona.
That was Spanish.
It was Italian more, but Ryan, you're a little quiet, homie.
Mm-hmm.
So much work for you people, Jesus.
You people.
Ben, continue how your week is.
I got. I'm gonna stop saying I got a new job today. I started a business today. Yeah, I will be a personal trainer.
Oh boy.
My new business is a personal trainer, and I'll be training out of Fit City Gym, downtown St. Louis.
Am I louder now?
Yeah, you are louder now. It's working. Thanks. You're doing it. You're doing it, Annie.
You can probably hear a lot of background noise, though, can't you?
Why don't you hump your microphone like the rest of us?
Okay.
Kylo
Ren, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining the chat.
It's working.
You wanted us.
You wanted us. What does that mean?
It's a thing that I've been hanging out with Goose and Cool Twin too much, and apparently it's a thing from Ghost Hunters or whatever.
Ghostbusters?
Nope.
No, Ghost.
I thought you fucked up the title of Ghostbusters.
And the beginning intro or whatever. It's just like, you wanted us. And we're here. It's really stupid. Yelling at the ghosts.
I'm gonna do that the next party I walk into.
That'd be a good start for a stream, though. You should capture that and put that.
That's gonna be my my new raid command. You wanted us.
Yeah, nice.
And we're here.
Oh, Panda might have called me out.
Well, have to get rated.
I said you're doing it, Annie, but I'm pretty sure it's you're doing it, Peter.
Yeah.
From Hook.
Yes.
Oops.
And Zing got it right with it's working. Which
Yeah.
is what I said.
They're both magical little kids. One's in the body of Robin Williams, who's not a... Anyway, Ryan, how have you been, dude?
Pretty good. Also, Tech, by the way, I'm not down to play some Apex because we're in the podcast now. But no, I've been pretty good. Just been hanging out at home, getting some stuff done, playing some games, doing that kind of shit.
Your medical appendage keeps shrinking. Yes.
Whoa.
It looks really cool though.
It does on that side. You flip it around, it looks stupid.
Yeah, it's got fucking Velcro straps and all.
The underside, you look like a robot.
Yeah, dude, I'm really thinking about getting into like cosplay shit because of how easy this stuff went. Like you just boil this stuff in hot water and it just makes it malleable.
I like how you added hot water, like we would have assumed you were going to boil it in hot milk. Or something ridiculous.
Mercury.
You just boil it in Dr. Pepper, which is also known as barbecue water.
Fucking text comments.
That's
I've never
true.
seen Ryan do more hand shit than when his hand is broken.
Yeah, it's true.
Video games and dodgeball. I don't need a left hand for dodgeball. You just gotta catch with one.
Yeah.
You look more badass.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just put the one behind your back and you go, I'm better than you. He's going to be fat.
They don't throw it at me because I'm like, hey, my hands hurt. Don't hit me.
That's a lie.
And then I wear my baby on the front so that they don't.
Yeah. I approve of this message.
Oh man, baby shield.
Yep.
That's the dark version of Baby Yoda. My week has been fine. Lots of work and interesting things at work, and I've gotten into Phoenix Point a bunch this week, which was fun. And I also got into
Plain details.
I will. I also got into a game I can't talk about.
Perfect.
Cool.
I was trying to think of what else it was I played, and then I remembered, and I can't talk about it. So, fuck y'all. No, Phoenix Point is super dope. It's XCOM, but with a diplomacy tab, which is weird. There's other settlements you encounter, and you have to manage relations with them, and you can like do things to hurt them, or help them, or outright attack them, or you'll get outright attacked by some. And there's like quest lines that are attached to them, like you can side with factions in their like way of managing things, like they can be militant or hyper religious or all sorts of stuff. It's super interesting. It's more strategy, more XCOM style stuff, and I love it. I also got into Frozen Synapse. I've had that game for a minute and not been able to play it. Frozen Synapse is it's like if you mixed XCOM and Rainbow Six, so it's turn based, but the turns aren't like you can move so many squares or something like that. You have every turn's 5 seconds long, and what you do is you plot routes for your soldiers in a direction, and then you hit go and it plays through the next 5 seconds. Or you can turn on long turns, and that just goes until every action you have planned is resolved, which is like not the way to do things, because if you're in an engagement and you do something wrong and you do long turns, like you might get completely flanked and just be fucking stuck and have to deal with it. But I can also see how there's like a heightened version of the game where like you only do long turns and you're like, we're gonna clear this out in the most efficient way, and you just plan routes for 20 minutes and then hit go and watch your guys run through it and see if they clear it out. But what you do is when you like plan these routes, you can say, you go from here to here, but you're going around this corner at this point, so you can click on a point on the line, in the plot line you make, because that gives you like waypoints when you put a location for someone to go. You can click in the middle of a plot line and give them an action. So like you can say, go over here, but when you get to this point, aim left. And then when you get to this point behind a table, crouch and stop aiming left, and then move forward, and then you can aim at another point and say aim right here, and then when you hit go, they follow that procedural set of events that you've put down. It's super dope. I did the tutorial and the first 2 missions the first night, and like the tutorial I almost bounced off of. because it was so deep, and I was just like, just let me get my hands in it. And then I did that first mission, and you have to take out this group of terrorists that are holding a like a restaurant hostage. Man, it was so dope. Like taking out the guard and then going in with 2 guys and clearing out 4 and never getting touched.
Nice.
It was very good. It was very good. That game was very much my shit. So yeah,
Proud of you.
thanks. Anyway, this is Bounty Board, your favorite video game podcast with 3 of your favorite goofs. That sounds gross.
Go.
Goofs. The 4th is not with us because last week is
He's no longer with us.
he's not with us today.
I know.
Y'all are
No, it was
morbid.
an office joke. Jesus.
He's no longer with us. The doctors did everything they could, and she's gonna be fine. Michael, no, Eric's wife gave birth to their baby, so congrats to daddy to the 3rd power, Eric, and I hope everyone's doing well and all that good stuff. But yeah, so it's your 3 favorite goofs. We're gonna talk about games, and before we talk about games, we're gonna talk about games news. And so I've got actually a few things. The last few weeks we haven't had a ton, but there's actually some stuff roiling out and coming out and happening in the industry because, you know, we're in the beginning of one of the biggest years in the industry. Not ever, but in the last few years for sure, with new consoles rolling out. And so to start that off, I wanted to start with an article that I thought was the biggest bunch of fucking clickbait I've ever seen. So this news thing came out about a week ago where Xbox said they're not going to have any exclusives for a year. That was what most of the headlines read. Xbox Series X will have no exclusives for 1 year. And I wanted to debunk that shit because that's clickbaity as fuck. So the reality is that Microsoft has stated that for 1 year after the release of this next generation of consoles, the exclusives on the next Xbox will not be exclusive to only that console. They'll be cross-platform, so you can cross-generational. So you can play it on the Xbox One.
Cross-platform.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be cross-generational. So if you have an Xbox One, any of the Xbox exclusives coming out of Microsoft Game Studios will be playable on Xbox One and Xbox Series X. They want to make this console roll out a soft rollout, so it doesn't force you to buy a $500 set of hardware to keep up with the stuff they're making, which is actually pretty fucking cool.
Yeah,
and I'm down for it. Like, it's super nice to like not have to worry about buying a new system this fall, and maybe my grandmother, Ben's mom, who also plays games with us, not being able to afford it, and just her getting left in the dust. And that doesn't have to happen now, which is super cool.
Or you
at least for you.
bought systems this year. Like,
right.
if they had to replace
That too.
the system in January or something, that would suck to have to buy a new one. And
Yeah, or parents that like don't know a console's coming out who bought a $400 console for Christmas this year, and they're like, "There's a new one next year." Like, you don't have to worry about it right away. That's kind of cool.
That's how they were able to afford one this year. It's because there's a new console coming out this year.
Sure. And the Xbox and PlayStation had fucking bananas deals this year, and I took advantage of one of the PlayStation ones. $200 for a slim PlayStation with 3 games. Fuck yeah.
that you'll never play.
It's the primary system in my living room, so we may not play games on it all the time, but we definitely use it all the time. Netflix machine. Okay, so that's that. I wanted to dispel that myth, or if anybody had any questions about it, I wanted to kind of clear the air. Next, I got a couple of new Ubisoft things that I wanted to stick together. The first being that Ubisoft has decided to shake up its editorial team. And this is interesting because I've never thought about a game studio having an editorial team.
Yeah, you said that to me earlier, and that threw me off.
Yeah, so Ubisoft is such a big fucking company. They've got like 30-something offices and 14,000 employees around the world, that they have an editorial like board that oversees all of the projects that they're putting out and like approves them and gives like insight or guidance, and in many cases have actually like had a hand in making the games the way they are. And that team was much smaller before this week. They are still keeping the person in charge. I don't remember what that guy's name is. Serge Hasaket or Hascote. His first name's Serge. He's going to remain in charge of the editorial group, but they have said that he will be given more subordinates and they will be given more autonomy so that he's able to lead from a broader perspective rather than directing individual projects. It's interesting because like Ubisoft had an issue last year where Breakpoint came out and Division came out and everyone was like, these are too much like the last ones. And there's this overall trend in Ubisoft games where like they're all open world and they all kind of feel samey.
They do.
And I never thought that might be the result of an editorial team that was too small, that all had the same tastes. That was
I wonder.
That was like
That seems a little unrealistic to me, to be honest. That can't be the reason. I think it's.
That's
I don't know.
that's what Ubisoft's saying. What did
I
what
mean,
was
even
the
if they found the
quote?
solution.
Yeah, I can't find the quote, but I remember reading a quote that was like, it got to a point more recently where like most of the games they were putting out were being overseen by 2 or 3 people in that editorial team. And so they had a lot of influence over what came out, and they've shaped what those things were. So having more diverse and more like autonomous editors that are able to kind of like move around smaller groups of teams rather than just like running the whole biz sounds like a good idea.
Right.
We also had a bunch of potential Assassin's Creed stuff leak in the last couple of weeks, none of which Ubisoft has confirmed, and some of which I think is untrue, but it's hard to tell. But it does look like the next Assassin's Creed is going to be pretty fucking different. But that game's headed up by Ashraf Ismail, the guy who did Black Flag and Origins.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he can do whatever. Those both of his games are fucking awesome. Okay, and the last Ubisoft thing, a little bit quicker. Maxime Beland, the guy who was in charge of Splinter Cell and the first Assassin's Creed, is back. He left last year in the beginning of the year to go to Stadia, and is already back. So whatever that is. But him coming back is dope because he was instrumental to a Splinter Cell Blacklist and Conviction.
Okay.
He helped open the Ubisoft Toronto studio that made Conviction, Blacklist. Made Blacklist. And that might mean that some Splinter Cell stuff might get working. Or if it's already working, might have some more direction. That may even be why he came back. But he contributed to Assassin's Creed, Rainbow Six Vegas, Far Cry 4, 5, and Primal, and the Splinter Cell games. So he's got a track list, and having him back in the fold, I'm sure, is fucking good.
Were we going to talk about the new Assassin's Creed? Was that on the list?
No, it wasn't. But we can if you want. You sound like you want to.
Ryan would be interested to know that it's 4-player drop-in, drop-out co-op.
It is.
Yeah, I saw you guys talk about that in the Discord yesterday.
Yeah.
That seems pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I love Viking stuff.
What? No.
Not as much as some of our close friends who have taken on the names legally, but I am a bit tired of them. I think Viking is just the bow and arrow of video games lately. Like everything's Viking, right? Viking has been around for a long time, and I don't think I need more Viking stuff.
What's Viking currently?
Good question.
Nothing.
There's Viking in For Honor.
Oh man.
Of course, Thor is a very big and prominent thing.
Yeah, sure. I don't know if I ever considered him a Viking.
No, not really. But as far as like the mythos of Viking, like we get it. I've seen it.
Yeah,
right?
The show Vikings is kind of huge.
Right. But I get it. Okay, I've seen Vikings my whole freaking life. I get it.
You said that about Assassin's Creed Odyssey too.
We've seen pirates.
Yeah, I'm not interested. I'm still not interested in Odyssey. I don't care about Romans right now. I just don't.
It's not about
I'm
Romans.
tired of Spartans. Okay, cool. But like, I don't know. I'm kind of done with that part of the world. Like, there's so much more of the freaking planet. Can I have, and kudos to Origins because that was fresh and awesome, like a pristine pyramid. Yeah, kudos. And walking through like Egypt in its prime. Yeah, that's why I liked Assassin's Creed to begin with, because I got to see, is it Jerusalem or Acre and all those like Damascus and stuff like that. Like,
yeah, Damascus and Acre.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was, and then Italy and all that stuff. Like that's what I want to see. Those were untouched theaters, and just to
Sure.
go back to Viking Land, I'm like, come on.
But there's not many Viking games, dude. There's one Viking show called Vikings.
I don't care about games.
Um,
I'm just done with Vikings in general. Like I just don't need more Viking shit. I just don't. I get it.
how much Viking shit have you gotten though? Like true core Viking shit.
I don't want to validate my opinion right now. Okay.
What's a
I did-
podcast, motherfucker? It's what it's
I just don't
about.
want Vikings. I want something besides Vikings.
I want Vikings because I've never played a
Ah.
Viking game.
The fact that it's
In my
4-player
life.
drop in, I'll play it.
I want a Viking game because I've never played a Viking game ever about Vikings.
Oh, I guess it's made for you then.
There isn't a lot of Viking stuff, my dude, in games. Straight up.
But I just feel like, as far as like books and comics and movies and stuff, I feel like I've been inundated with Vikings every year of my life. There's always Vikings something.
It's really weird that you might like something so much that you've gotten so much of it that you're like, fuck this, I hate it. But that sounds like what you're saying. Like, I don't want any more. But that's your fault. No one else is like, there's too much Viking stuff.
No, I don't hate it. I just don't want any more of it. I want something else. Give me something different.
I'm just kind of upset that I can't think of much Viking things.
I can't think of anything Viking. Like, For Honor has Viking characters.
Like I want to agree with you since you're so passionate about it, but at the same time, like I don't see the.
I'm literally Googling Viking stuff.
Do it. Do it. Let's have... This podcast is about Vikings. Ready, set, go. Let's look up Viking games. Chat. Do it. Send us some shit.
No, there's not many Viking games for sure. There's not.
Viking movies.
There's not many Viking games. I mean, we got,
Viking movies.
of course, God of War went Vikings, of course, right?
One. Go on.
Is that what we're gonna do? We're gonna
Um,
jump in. We're gonna jump in between. We're gonna jump in between each example. That's fun.
In the last week, Ben has forgotten how podcasts work.
It's, Hellblade,
Okay.
and then that's basically it. Yeah. No, I'm not saying there's not so much right now. I'm not saying I'm choking with Vikings at this current moment.
That sounds
sounds
like fun though.
I just feel like it's it's boring to me to go back to Vikings. Like I get it. Like who doesn't know anything about Vikings? Don't you think?
Well, I thought I knew a lot about Egypt, and then I played Origins and got to walk around walk around in Egypt and was like, oh fuck, there's a lot of stuff I didn't know.
That's why I'm so excited about that because I don't feel like I know shit about Egypt.
Well, I felt the same about Odyssey. Like I felt like I knew a lot about Greek culture, but like walking around and talking to Herodotus and Pericles and like all these fucking characters, or not even characters, real people that I fucking hung out in college talking about and like reading about in history classes. Like that was super cool. And so like, yeah, I think I know a good bit about Vikings, but like if you wanted to ask me what their like pantheon of gods is, what they all are and what they do, I don't really know. I know of Odin and Hela and Thor and Loki.
Yeah.
And that's because Marvel. So I'm pretty sure that's not a very good representation of what they're really like. And
I have a really easy way of squashing this argument.
Go ahead.
Because you know what I really wanted Assassin's Creed to do.
Ninjas.
Right.
So, like we don't have enough of that everywhere.
They're gonna make a ninja game, and you're gonna be like, "I'm so past ninjas. I don't want more ninjas. I want them to go somewhere else." You won't be happy until they make like a Mesopotamian.
I am upfront and honest with everybody that I'm a hypocrite often and regularly. So,
well, the first step to solving any problem is admitting that there is one.
That's right.
And speaking of ninjas, Ninja Theory today, the next news article. Ninja Theory had their own little direct today, which was kind of cool.
Yeah,
there's this new format emerging that is all of these studios and publishers doing their own little releases on the internet because you don't need to throw a big show, which is ironically or coincidentally a good follow-up on last week's episode where they're doing these little small things where they can like be super personal and say, hey, this is what we're working on and what we're excited about. And to get that out of Ninja Theory today, so they they announced their Dreadnought Diaries, and apparently they were pretty good about making vid docs for the development of Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, and so people that like were a fan of that are like super excited for this. But if you weren't aware, Dreadnought Diaries is going to catalog their development process for their 3 projects they're working on right now across the studio. There's like 120 people total at Ninja Theory, and they're divided into 3 teams. So they're all making games, and like a couple of them are on the AAA scale, but they're doing them at their own pace. And most importantly to me is they're focusing on the representation of mental struggle. So they said that they created a game in the first Hellblade that was about like psychosis, and that's effect on the human brain. And this next one, they said they're doing madness and despair, and how it impacts the creation of. Oh, I gotta find it. It's such a good quote, and like if this next Hellblade's about that, woof.
Yeah.
Shit, I can't find it. But it was like how it created like the madness and despair, and its impact on the creation of like culture and gods. Like, fuck yeah, let's go. I want this.
Yeah.
I want this.
Yep.
They also.
I really want to finish the first one. I think the only reason I got bored is I just wasn't in the right headspace to play it. I think it's, as Eric has illustrated many times, it's a deeply engrossing emotional game, and I was probably just being a little impatient. I might have even been in an Xbox party with somebody, which is like how to squash your game in 10 days or whatever. Like,
yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's how to ruin the experience. Not paying attention. So
yep.
Yeah, I owe it to myself and to that studio. I love Ninja Theory a lot, so I really need to play through that game.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's free, right? It's Game Pass. So
yeah, it's on Game Pass. They are an Xbox Game Studios studio. They also announced a game called Project Mara, that is a horror game.
Straight horror. Yep.
That looks interesting, and they also announced the Insight Project, or they'd already announced it, but they showed us what the Insight Project's doing, and the Insight Project is working on gamifying the brain to solve mental illness issues, or to try and solve mental illness issues, working with like some professors and experts they're in the Cambridge, so like they're working with people from Cambridge's campus, and like
with real data.
Yeah, real data and researchers and actual people that have gone through or currently experience these things. And so like
and their goal is to like work with them to help gamers deal with this shit.
Yeah. And like
they're not just taking this data to capitalize on it.
Yeah.
Like, well, this game's really gonna fuck you up. Like, no, like
no, they want to build games that like actually can actively help people through hard times and with issues, which is dope. And it's such a good it's so delicious to me, because I remember when Ninja Theory got bought by Xbox and it was announced in 2018, and people were like, well, they're dead, they'll never make anything worthwhile again. And then a year and a half later, they're like, we're able now, because Microsoft has been like, here's some money, to actually make things we're genuinely passionate about, and they're making genuinely awesome stuff. So fuck yeah.
I also want to shout out the song they used for that Hellblade 2 trailer is a group that I discovered a few months ago. It's probably the scariest, cultiest, whitest thing you'll ever see in your life. It's like legitimately terrifying.
Yeah, it's like
love it.
It's like Norwegian death metal, right?
No, it's Norwegian folk music, and they're using literal like bones and animal skins and like throat singing and like instruments you've never even seen before. And there's like 30 people on stage, and it sounds like if you woke up to this, like if somebody put this on in your room and you woke up to this, you'd think it was the end of the world.
Yeah, sure.
Like, your house is surrounded and you're about to die.
Even that trailer, that like
that's basically their sound. So
awesome.
If you remember that trailer, that's what the group sounds like. I put the link both in our chat and the public chat.
Also, fucking high five to fucking I can't remember her name, but the chick that plays Senua, like she was a fucking editor or something at the studio, and they didn't have the money to pay for a big name voice actor, and so she was like, I'll do it, and now she's a fucking incredible talent, and she won an award for.
She won an award. Yep.
Fuck yeah, dude! The games are awesome.
Yep.
Games are fucking dope. All right, thanks for listening, everybody. Yeah. So that's the news. That's all the news. I guess MLB The Show 20 has a gameplay trailer that came out today, and I didn't know that, so I'm sad that I didn't realize that. So go watch that. That game's got Javier Baez on the cover, Chicago Cub.
Is the TV on at GameStop? Is that live, or is it just like
No, it's just canned shit that they play over and over and over again, and they
Really
play it
cool.
over and over again for like 3 weeks straight, and then they change it, and then it's the same thing for 3 weeks, and by the third hour you're at work, you know all the things they're going to say and all the things you hate about what they're going to say, and you have to hear that every day for
What
the
an
next
easy
3
thing
weeks.
for them to fix? They could very easily have a YouTube channel that updates every
Yeah,
3
I
hours,
don't
5
know
hours.
if,
And when a trailer breaks, like it breaks at the store.
I don't know how easy that is though. You're talking about
On a
like
YouTube channel and then just stream it in the store?
yeah, a live show is way more difficult than let's record a thing and once a
It
month.
doesn't have to actually be a show, but it could still be a content funnel.
Yeah, sure. But they also were going to stream some shit the night that Call of Duty released, and it failed. So it was just a black screen for like an hour and a half.
Badass.
Welcome to GameStop. We're GameStop.
I saw a meme the other day. It's like we heard the GameStop's trying to is trying to sell their company, and everybody was like, "All right, let's all put our money together, and we'll pay $3.50 for it. We'll finally get those assholes back for undercharging us for games."
Yeah. Although I would be so bold as to say you don't deserve fucking anything for the game you bought. So you should be happy they give you anything for it.
Yeah, we'll give you store credit.
Yeah, fuck that.
They're gonna give me $3 for the game that they're gonna go and resell for $50. No, fuck you.
Yeah, well, you don't deserve to get anything back for it. You bought new software that you cannot trade anywhere else and get money back. They're the one place that does it. They can give you what they want.
I can sell it on Facebook.
Sure, go for it. The GameStop doesn't exist to stop you from doing that. They're not like, oh man, there's a GameStop close. We can't buy anything off Facebook. They're jamming our signal. So
I don't know why I'm so quiet, but I've been sitting in the same spot for the past 6 months. I don't know what's going on.
It's
I
the
don't know,
first
man.
time anybody wanted to tell you that you were actually quiet.
That's perfect.
No, I think what it is me and Caleb are
Oof.
humping
Ben-
our mics.
Ben's a little hot, honestly.
Okay, me and Caleb are humping our mics, and you're not. So it's not that you're quiet; it's that you're quiet and
Yeah, but it hasn't been that quiet before.
Why don't
And
you
he's
guys
been sitting-
relax? Just relax a little.
All right, man.
I don't like that.
Relax.
I don't
I'll
like the
just
echoey
talk
sound.
over here. It's great.
I hate that. I hate that.
How's it
Sounds just as
going?
fine.
I think echoey mic sounds amateur, so I'm gonna stay close.
And I think Cross Mike sounds like Kylo Ren. Parker.
Dude, why are you leaning over? Is yours at your knees? Why are you leaning over so far?
He's got the dick cam.
My fucking chair goes way the fuck back if I want to. That's why I'm leaning like a mother.
That's why we can't hear you. Get your booty mic on.
Nope.
Please, sir, I'm going to need you to put your mouth right next to the dick mic.
4 months, so not my problem.
Hashtag not my problem. Booty mic.
Turn your volume up.
I mean, that's not... Okay.
Yeah, because if we turn...
Let's talk about how to equalize a podcast.
This is Podcasting 101.
Don't work
Okay.
with anybody. Do your own thing. I'm sorry.
Zing says you need to learn how to project. And Night Panda says his volume is maxed AF, which means also Falcons. We didn't... So, be fully... What? Who's laughing?
Also Falcon.
Also Falcons. That's what AF means. To be forward with you guys, the last few weeks have been a little crazy, right? We had the Game Awards. It was immediately followed by our Christmas podcast. What did we play a game for that podcast, or did we just kind of talk? I don't remember.
I don't remember being a part of that one.
I don't know.
We did the before and the after, I think.
Yeah, we didn't do a podcast on Christmas. There was one after the Game Awards. And then we had our New Year podcast, and then last week Sea of Thieves Especial, and this week I realized we've been kind of flying by the seat of our pants for the last few weeks, just kind of rolling with the punches, and we need to get back in the swing of having things more organized. So That's to say all that. That's not this week. No, we kind of came up with a few topics before we started recording. And I guess we should probably, just for fun, just kind of shoot the shit and stumble through those. We haven't done a bounties episode in a while, so we could definitely talk about what we've been playing. I've already given a short preview of that, but I can also talk about Call of Duty because I have found my zen in that game, I think. So yeah, let's make it open. Like, if the chat wants to give us something to talk about, give us something to talk about. Ryan, you got something you want to talk about? Let's talk about it. Ben, you got something you want to talk about? Let's talk about it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So let's shoot the shit.
Okay.
What's happening, yo?
You gonna talk about Warframe?
It took,
Hey, we might as well just say this week in Warframe. No, nothing happened. But people are complaining about the new DLC. They are talking about fixing it, of course, as they do. But most people are generally pretty unhappy with that thing. I was really excited about. Most people are pretty happy. I actually like it, but it is very simple and kind of like two-dimensional. And once you've played it, you've played it.
Oh, the railjack shit?
Yeah, it's cool. But it's Warframe, and in a year it'll be different. So it'll be a different game.
Sure. It's been constantly evolving for like what, 9 years now? 7 years?
7, yeah. It's about to have their actual 7th year anniversary. They just got a million subscribers on Twitch, which is pretty badass.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
That's dope. I'm close.
I have not.
I'm not.
Yeah, I have not really been playing anything else. I poured all my time into my my little webcomic and put that out.
Yeah, that was dope.
Yeah, there's times, since we're just shooting the shit, that I would sit down at the box and try to fire something up or jump in a party and just go, I just don't want to play anything right now. And that book really got under my skin. I really wanted to finish it.
So the interesting thing that I found recently is that like my backlog is so fucking. Oh, we could have a whole podcast about burning through the backlog. It's oppressive, yeah. And I have frequently the same thing where I like hop on and I'm like, what am I gonna play?
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty, or I just The Office and I go to bed. I have found that the trick to that is like, you've got a list of shit you need to play, just click on one. That's how I got back into Phoenix Point. I was like, man, I just started this. I don't want to. Fuck it, I'm going to play it. And then I played it for like 4 hours and was like, oh yeah, I fucking love XCOM games. Yeah. Fuck, I need this. So it's just a matter of being singular, I think, and focused. And like, all right, I'm going to play something and just throw the dart in the air and find out where it lands.
It's tricky though, right? Because like, we're pretty busy people. So when it comes...
yourself. Okay,
are you trying to be proud of being not busy?
Yes, I am.
Excuse me.
Excuse me. I'm leisurely all the time.
So by the time we get on the sticks, we want to like socialize, right? We want to jump in a party and do something with people, not continue to spend the rest of my day by myself.
The reason I haven't completed God of War.
I guess that game got its fingernails in me and just didn't let go. Sort of like actually most of the PlayStation games. Spider-Man did that too. I just didn't log into Xbox for a few weeks. So when it was time to game, I would just go on the PlayStation, play that.
Yep.
So I think when it's really good, and both those games are either Game of the Year or Game of the Year contenders, depending on the outlet. So like those games are kind of,
yeah, for sure,
a high bar. So when it's a game like that you've been wanting to get to, like, my friend Pedro, or, for me, Banner Saga or something that's still installed, haven't touched it. It's, it's not quite, doesn't have quite the pull of a God of War.
Ryan, what does it feel like to not have a backlog?
I was getting ready to say, dude, I don't have a fucking backlog.
I thought about that. I was like, I think Ryan's like Rocket League and Call of Duty and Ark. Like, that's it.
How deep is your library? How many games you got, like, ready to install?
Oh, that's not the right question.
There's 0 ready to install because I have 185 installed.
Why?
Just because every time Games of Gold comes up, I just install something.
I see.
I usually try to browse through, and I sometimes pick something new. Other times I'm just like,
shit.
And Call of Duty.
Hey, Wreckfest is free to play right now. I will absolutely play Wreckfest with you.
Yeah, I already own it, but yeah, we can play it.
Yes, I wanted to play that so bad.
Demolition Derby. Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know. Just it sucks not having a backlog, But at the same time, I don't have the backlog requirements either, to where I'm like, I have to play this game, even though I don't really want to play this game. But my experience of playing Xbox is who's online right now, and what are they playing?
Right.
And
Yeah.
am I gonna join in with them, or am I gonna fall asleep playing my game?
Right.
Yep.
You know, 'cause,
Which
like,
is weird because yeah, like some games do hook you, and you're like, I'm gonna play this.
like Ark hooks me super hardcore, but I know it's a boring game to watch, and it's a boring game to play sometimes. But I completely enjoy it.
Yep.
Over and over again. I don't know. I put 1,000 hours into that game in the past 2 months.
God, we were talking about Gigantic a few weeks ago, Panda.
I love that game.
I was playing Paladins with one of my Warframe buddies, and
Y'all just play all the obscure shit, huh?
couldn't stop talking about Gigantic. That game was so freaking beautiful.
Yeah, that game's dope. Sarge, we played Gigantic, didn't we?
Nope.
I played it with somebody. It was a MOBA, but the base that you're defending moved, and was a giant beast that attacked
giant creature
the other,
that would
the
attack.
other bit. Yeah,
So
it was fucking awesome.
So like, say they're wrestling in the middle of the level, Ryan. You attack them, so that the one that is the weakest gets pinned down by the other one and reveals their weak spot.
Yeah, and then everybody on the
It's
field
all,
would
like,
shoot at it.
Huge, giant, like 30, 60-foot monsters that were like just rolling around on the ground in front of you. So yeah, it would mash them to the ground and like expose their weak point. Then you shot it as fast as you could, and then the shields would come back up and it would fly away, and you just start over again. So it's usually like the magic number 3. So you usually have to do it 2 or 3 times to win the stage. But
Yeah, the game was so pretty and it played so smooth, and it just didn't
Ultra
take
silky.
off. Fuck.
it's probably just bad timing. Overwatch came out about the same time, and
Yeah, sure.
Overwatch had like 10 levels. This had like 3.
The game I really want to play with everybody's fucking Gang Beasts,
Yes.
and I can't seem to find enough people.
Ben's got it. I've got it. You've got it. We need one more.
We,
It was not my email, by the way.
It's literally a lot better with like 8 people, and I've played
It
it
is.
with 8 people every once in a while, and it's so much freaking fun. But it's just without that, you can't really do much with it.
Ben, I sent that to you. I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know where
the money's out of my
it
account.
went.
The money's out of my account. Check your Xbox messages. Go to your email and search Gang
And it's
Beasts
like
and see if it
20
pops
bucks.
up. It's $20.
I don't have $20, bro.
He's
No,
talking to
I was
Panda.
talking to
I
Panda.
bought it for you,
Okay.
motherfucker.
I know. I don't have it.
Yes, you do. You gotta find
You
it.
would send it to Sawyer Sketch, I guess.
I sent it to your gamer tag. So whatever email's on your Xbox, it went to that one. I didn't type in your email. I tapped on your face and on Xbox, and Xbox went, cool, got it, sent.
Nope, don't have it. I'm looking at everything right now. Never got it.
Yeah, you did. You just
And
don't
you
know
just
where it
go to
is.
You might want to just look in there at the store and see if you can download it.
That might also be a thing.
Ah, that's a good idea.
I have a few of those.
Yep. Good ideas. Yes, we all do, or maybe we don't. I know some people that don't have any good
Also,
ideas.
World War Z, a few of you need to download that, and we need to play that because it has like
I'm down.
4 or 5 storylines that you can do in that game.
We're
and
adding
it's-
games to the backlog.
No, it's something that we can just pick up and play one.
Right? No, you're right. You're right. I'm just fucking with you.
We just have to, pick
Do
up
it.
and play it.
Yeah, Caleb, just pick one of them, dude. Just pick one. See, it's that easy.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it
gotta
is.
do it.
It super is. It super is. Yeah, and I want to play. I've been wanting to play Gang Beasts for a minute. Yeah, I gave you a multiple choice question, motherfucker. You can't get wrong. Oh man.
Oh, okay. So I found it. It was a message from Xbox Live, but it started with "big bitch," so I didn't open it because
I did
I
say
didn't know
that.
what the fuck that meant.
That's funny. I thought it would say it was from me, but I wrote "big bitch" in that for you, and then it was
Yep.
Xbox. Xbox sent you a message and said "big bitch."
You should have reported it.
Oh,
Something
fuck.
calling me a big bitch.
Oh,
All right.
oh man,
Mystery
that's funny
solved.
as shit.
Hilarious.
That's funny as shit. I forgot I'd sent that. I didn't think you would read it on air, but that's so delicious.
Also, some
I might play
Halo Wars,
that
dude.
after the cast.
What'd you say, Ryan?
Halo
Fucking
Wars.
Halo Wars.
Dude, we played Halo Wars with Jordan that night. It was fucking dope.
Yeah, it was a pretty good time.
I was playing on
We
my
made-
computer too.
I think
Yeah.
the last game froze. I think that's the only reason we stopped playing. It's like somebody crashed or something.
Oh yeah, last game fucking crashed out, and we were like far in,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
far
it was
out.
just like boom. We were like, cool, good night. That was
Yeah.
it. That's the
No,
worst,
dude,
man.
dude, there were some epic moments too. Me and Caleb were playing against Ben and Jordan, and they started destroying Caleb's base. I was like, "Shh, Caleb, I got this," and like fucking sneak attack Jordan from the back end because he was destroying Caleb.
No, me and Jordan were on the same team. And me and Jordan were on the same team, and you had that
Is that
giant
what it was?
fucking you had that giant fucking sentinel that showed up and shredded the fuck out of my base, and I was like, "What is that?" And then I realized I could call 2 in after I died. I was like,
yeah,
"Oh,
dude,
cool,
I
I can."
was destroying you guys.
Yeah,
Couldn't handle it.
man,
Couldn't handle me.
Man. couldn't handle me, dude. I like Halo Wars. I like that I can play it on my computer because RTSs are so much better with a keyboard and mouse.
It is true.
So much better. I think I like XCOM more with a keyboard and mouse too.
I'd buy that.
Dude, there's so much other stuff. Like I played Ark on the PC, and it was so fucking easy. Like I could hit all the buttons without having to do anything else.
There's somebody that listens to this podcast that's a PC Master Race believer who's just like, I fucking told you guys while we're talking about this right now.
Yeah.
It is nice to have like 20 plus keys on your left hand, you know, and then more if you reach. But
Yeah, it's great. And like being able to like, all right, I gotta pop to the menu and do this and do this and do this, and like I'm like barely moving because I've just memorized all of the places things go. It's very nice. It's very nice. I have a problem playing on PC though because it doesn't feel like Xbox to me enough for me to like I'd be like, oh yeah, I could just join a party through this. You know what I mean? So most of the time I'm like, but I can't hang out with people on my PC, and I totally could.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing you brought up, like playing a game in a party, and like not being able to focus. I agree with that because like I bounced off of Sekiro for that reason. I was like, I'm gonna do it for 3 hours on stream, and I was talking so much I didn't grok any of the stealth or combat mechanics, and I was just like, yep, this game sucks. It doesn't. I just didn't like it at that moment. And then like Red Dead, I got through while in parties with people, and we didn't talk much. It was kind of like that like cheesy shit you did in high school when you talk to a girl and you'd like leave the phone on while you were doing shit. I'd be like, I'm in a
playing games.
Yep.
yeah, like I'm in a party with my bros, but like we're not talking much, and then someone would go, "Oh damn," and we'd be like, "What happened?"
Yeah.
Ben did that to me for Star Wars. We were in a party doing something individually, and he was like, "Oh my god," and I was like, "Don't talk about it," because I hadn't gotten there yet.
The finale for Fallen Order is so freaking great. And Caleb had to hear me audibly explode while it happened.
That's how it was with Red Dead 2. Like,
Yeah.
It was like we had like 8 people in the party playing Red Dead.
No one
and
talking.
It was like the quietest thing ever. And some of you were like, "Man, that was crazy." Be like, "All right, I guess I'll sit here in a little bit." Like it was the worst party ever. I had to leave. I was like, I can't be a part of this, dude. There's
I don't blame you.
it's quiet. Like,
But if you'd been playing Red Dead with us, it would have been great because you would have been doing the same thing.
No, it wouldn't have been great. It still would have been lame. That
Yeah.
was lame.
No, man, that
Parties
stuff's
were
fun.
lame.
That
Nah, I
stuff's
didn't like
fun.
it.
That stuff's
It drove-
fun.
That drove me up the wall.
It drives you up the wall when people aren't being annoying.
No, when people are
confusing.
being quiet,
Yeah.
I hate when people shut
Being
up so I can
quiet is
experience something.
annoying.
I think that's a game you don't play in a party. Just like
All right. Well, I disagree. I had a lot of fun playing that game in parties with people and like talking about moments
I'm gonna pull
rather
a
than
Ryan.
Nobody was
talking the whole time.
I'm gonna pull a Ryan and say good for you.
Proud of you.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is.
I mean, okay. That's what do you guys do when you play single player? Well, Ryan doesn't. Ben, what do you do? What do you do when you play single player games? You just shut the world down?
Yeah.
I mean, that's an option.
Yeah.
You don't have to though.
I feel like in order for me to receive that which they want to show me, I don't want to get distracted by talking about whatever bullshit y'all are talking about. And then
So if you were in a party where no one was
heavy,
talking, That's
No, because
annoying.
inevitably somebody would start talking, and I'd have to turn their mic down and like turn down the mixer, so I hear just the game. And then at that point, why even be in a party?
They talk at the one moment when you're trying to listen. You're like, I
Yeah,
heard
so their
no.
cutscene's done, and mine just started, so I have to turn it down. And then just come on.
Oh,
Get out.
I also play with subtitles all the time, so that never happens to me.
I do too, but
Why do I need to read when I can listen?
Well, I play with subtitles on because if I'm streaming, I don't want to have to worry about like leaving people out.
yeah, he also played single player games in a party. That's why he needs subtitles on, Ryan. We just talked about this.
No, here's the thing. Here's the thing, and y'all are wrong, but here's the thing. The reason I got into subtitles is I got into games hardcore when I was in high school and college and had roommates all the time. So most of my like super hardcore gaming that when I got into the shit in like my senior year of high school and then the beginning and all through college, I had to play in a room quietly because I couldn't afford a headset. So my subtitles were just the way I did things. And now I just keep them on. It's like a comfort thing. I'll play a game without subtitles in the cutscene and I'll be like, I want to put these on. I'm also fascinated with when subtitles don't line up with the dub.
I hate that. That drives me up the fucking wall.
It fascinates me.
I can't handle that.
It fascinates me because I know that like part of that is either the subtitle, whoever put the subtitles in just grabbed the script and threw the script into a subtitle format, and the other part of me also realizes that like there's a part of that is the actor not reading precisely from the lines.
I don't think that's it.
I mean, I know that is part of it. I know that's part of it.
I think a lot of times too that they rewrite it to match the mouth movements.
Well, I'm sure the
so
animation changes to match the mouth movements, but that doesn't mean the script.
They don't change the animation. They change the script, because if it was animated in Japanese, and the mouth goes on a set amount of time, they rewrite the American dubs to realistically fill that space.
Oh, well,
so they don't just read a translation; it's rewritten.
I'm not playing any games that are translated though, so that doesn't work out. I don't play games where like clearly their mouth isn't moving in the words; they're saying the shit.
I'm more or less talking about Netflix as well, or whatever. Like if you're watching like what was that?
I don't watch shows with subtitles. I fucking hate that. I don't hate it, but if I don't have to have them on, I don't watch shows with subtitles.
Oh, see, I like it because then I feel like I'm not missing anything, especially in video games. Like if I'm like not paying attention and I missed a line, because or I didn't catch what they said, or I don't want the chance that I didn't hear what they said. So I like reading it.
Yeah, but see, like that's you just banged on me for. He has to put subtitles on because he's going to party the whole time while he's playing. And you're like, I like subtitles because I don't want to miss anything.
Well, that was a joke.
So literally the reason I put on subtitles. There is also the fact that like actors don't read exactly from the script. I was listening to Troy Baker talk about it recently where he's like, it doesn't always work. And it's actually easier to edit motions of a mouth now in an animation than to go back and re-record sometimes when you realize it's not the same.
I don't know. A lot of those shows are put on a budget. I don't think they're going to go back and edit the animation to match.
We're talking about games that Troy Baker's involved in.
Right. So probably yes. Yeah.
So, and animation is probably a lot easier to edit now with the tools that we have to just say, okay, open your mouth and throw an F sound and a tongue movement and just bloop, 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 boom, go. Because you've got to imagine they don't animate mouths specifically per word in these like 100-hour games, and if they do, then yeah, someone had to work for like 4 or 5 hours.
No, they have pre-programmed mouth movements for certain sounds.
Yeah, sure.
Together.
Yeah, so it's probably
Most
not hard
people,
to do.
Like mine, their mouth doesn't move much when they talk anyway, so it's pretty easy to just go.
It's pretty easy to animate my mouth because it never fucking moves.
Also, I hate games that put subtitles or like give you the option to put subtitles in, like Call of Duty in the multiplayer. Who the fuck is running around with subtitles on? I know. I was gonna say you because I watched your stream the other night, and it's just like
it's because the subtitles for the campaign. It's because the subtitles for the campaign are still on the game. I should just turn them off.
Who wants to read reloading or like grenade? Like it doesn't matter. You're not gonna hear it hit the ground anyway.
Yo, it actually helps. It actually helps sometimes because I'll miss something. I'll miss something, and you can hear the other team's barks. So if I'm playing the Coalition and a subtitle that says Grinch pops up at the bottom, I'm like, he's not a Coalition soldier. There's an enemy close. That's actually helped me a few times. Yeah, and subtitles will say nearby reload to like tell you, hey, a reload's nearby.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's sneaky.
I'm already having a difficult time finding the people, looking around for them. How am I gonna be like, oh wait, let's read what they're gonna? Oh,
Well, that's not how
Don't worry
subtitles
about
work. You don't focus on them and not see anything else. Or you'd watch a movie and go, what did the people look like? That book was fun to read.
I will say, since we're talking about dubs, the dubs for Devil May Cry 5 are so bad I had to stop playing. That story is so, the first couple hours is so freaking awful.
Why'd you play a
I-
Capcom game dubbed? It's a Japanese studio.
It's default, and the previous dubs haven't been that bad.
Well,
But
this is
is
Capcom
awful.
on its
This
shit.
is fucking awful.
Yeah.
It's so dumb. So I'm gonna have to switch it and try again. But it got best action game according to Jeff Keighley, so I gotta play it.
According to a board of voters, you butt. According to Jeff Keighley. Man. Subs are, Ryan, do you watch movies that aren't in English that you have to read the subtitles in?
No.
Okay. I feel like I knew the answer to that question already.
The answer,
Can you give me an example of a movie so I can clarify?
I mean, anything in like with mostly Spanish or Japanese or.
did you see
French.
Pan's Labyrinth?
Nope.
Oh,
Never heard of it.
that's a good movie. It's Guillermo del Toro, who's William of the Bull in English.
Have you seen a Godzilla movie? Not without Matthew Broderick?
Yes.
Well, the last two Godzilla movies are in English, so that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Except for Shin Godzilla. I guess was that in between?
What's the most popular foreign language movie you think most people have seen?
That's a weird question, and it's a good one. Most popular, completely foreign or mostly foreign language?
I don't know. Mostly, how about?
Because I don't know if
I feel like I'm getting Night Panda heated in chat.
Kill Bill? Is that movie mostly in a different language?
I haven't seen that either. Oh.
I haven't seen Kill Bill.
Glorious Bastards is a good answer.
That's a good answer, yeah.
Oh yeah, a lot of that movie's in German or French, and some English. I can't think of a movie.
Kung Pao? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh shit! No, that's for real. I don't watch those movies in.
Oh shit, Ron, have you seen Kung Fu Hustle?
No.
Oh, you need to. That shit's hilarious.
Oh my god, that movie's so good. Shaolin Soccer is also good, but the English dub in Shaolin Soccer is funny as fuck.
Caleb, have you seen Ghostbusters?
That's all in English, and it has subtitles.
Yeah, that's that show about people that bust on ghosts, right? Didn't we talk?
Yeah, Amelie.
It's ectoplasm. I'm dying.
Amelie's
I
great.
coughed
but
and
I'm not gonna
farted
say
just
most
then.
people have seen that.
I coughed and farted just then. It's so
Great,
uncomfortable.
Caleb.
It's so uncomfortable.
Great, Caleb. Thank you. Yeah, Amelie's great.
I'm surrounded
But,
by a bunch of goody fucking two shoes.
Chocolat. also great.
Chocolat. I just did that in my pants. What's wrong with you guys? It's potty humor's funny.
I never
when it's
said
funny.
anything wrong.
It's funny when it's funny.
I haven't seen Chocolat.
Wait, Chocolat. Was that the one? Was that the Thai one where the girl learns kung fu by watching TV?
What? That
Right?
movie's called Chocolate?
Yeah. Did I get that right?
I hope not, because that movie's title's so misleading. If I would have known that, I would have watched it.
Oh, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Gets
Oh, yeah, that's for sure. What else did that guy make? Oh, that's Ang Lee, isn't it?
That's Ang Lee, yeah.
Yeah. He made Gemini
It
Man.
was.
That movie was weird.
So I went to go see Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon in a pretty nice theater. And when they were running on trees in the beginning, people were giggling
Stupid.
because they thought it looked silly.
Oh, this is so funny. Look at those weird people running on trees. Midwest, everybody.
Nobody answered my chocolat question.
Yeah, I think you killed
No,
Zing
that's not the
because
right
he
one.
self-destructed.
That's Johnny Depp. What's the one? I got there's a I thought it was a Thai movie. I'm not gonna limit that. Um, Kung Fu movie. Girl learns watching TV. That's gotta say it. Oh,
Uh,
okay, motherfuckers. It's called Chocolate. It's an autistic girl with martial arts skills that she learns by watching TV. She watches it on TV. So it's a foreign movie. It's the whole word of chocolate with an E on it. So I'm not an asshole. I was just wrong.
I can believe it being an autistic kid. They're pretty smart.
Yeah, I've always said autistic kids are like the next level of like brain evolution because they're just processing so fast.
So
Just like
so
the
my,
rest of our
my
evolution
wife
hasn't caught
actually
up.
my wife actually does psychology for autistic kids, and there was a post on Facebook that I saw. This guy's like, my son or my stepson's autistic, and we went somewhere, and in the waiting room he put these puzzle pieces into this weird form, in this weird like pattern or whatever. And he's like, I took a picture of it because I thought it looked familiar. And he went home and looked in one of the books that his kid had, and it was like the cover of the book,
Wow.
like, and it was like piece by piece, like exactly what the cover of the book was. And the kid wasn't at home, and like he just completely memorized it. So like I showed that to her, and she's like, yeah, it's completely possible for a kid with autism to just do things like that out of nowhere. So
Yeah.
like learning something visually is pretty incredible to see. So
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
if you
I've
ever
got
see
a
some crazy ass kung fu action. See Chocolate. It's
all right.
off.
The actual synopsis to Chocolat is one of the weirdest fucking things I've ever heard,
I
and
like
I'll
it.
read it to people.
I like it.
Chocolat is about temptation during Lent. A lady and her child arrive just in time for Lent and open a coffee shop and try to tempt people to abandon their fasting. How is that a movie plot? Like, what motherfucker was sitting at home high and was like, what if it was Lent, but a chocolate shop opened up next door? Like,
I
what?
need the log line for that movie.
Oh man, that's so weird. Hey, we're getting a Halo show this year.
Yeah, that's crazy, huh?
What do y'all think about that shit?
I
You
don't
think it's
know
gonna be
about
good? Can video games make good movies?
Not often.
No,
I
not
think-
have they. Can they? I know they haven't yet.
Yeah. Oh bullshit! Silent Hill.
Okay.
Silent
One.
Hill was fucking great.
That is
And
one.
I would
That is
argue
good.
That The Last Starfighter was actually a video game movie.
It's not about a game that was already made, though, was it?
Yeah, it's not like an intellectual property, but
Right.
it's a video
Ready
game.
Player
A movie-
One
it's
was
a movie about a video
cinema.
game.
so are they gonna try and roll this show out before the game comes out? Because the amount of people that are disinterested in Halo right now,
You think people are disinterested in Halo?
I think so.
Well, why?
I don't know. I feel like
I mean,
my
it's been a
brother.
while since we've had a game.
Yeah, it's been a while since we had a game, and I know the Master Chief Collection's out there, and it just moved to PC. But like my brother's group of friends, they actually play, they play all PC, that kind of stuff. So and they were super excited for when Halo came there, and then like they never played it, and like
Yeah.
a bunch of their friends like
Kind of old news.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. But like, are
Yeah.
they trying to build that hype back up for the game? Like I know people are excited about the game, but on the other hand, like, are people that disinterested that they need
No,
to build into?
I don't think so. I think Halo's such a monster that all they have to do is start an ad campaign and they'll do great.
Yeah, I think Halo's only seems small now because we've gotten 2 games in 8 years. I think that's
Yeah.
it.
Right.
I don't think it's dead. I think we just haven't gotten one in a while.
They've also been struggling with a TV show for like a decade, right? And you know, Spielberg being involved and the 2 shows they did make not going over so big. So
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. Maybe it's potentially
Spielberg's
being launched before.
Spielberg's doing this one.
Yeah.
This is actually I have to correct myself. It's coming out in early 2021, so it'll release right after the game comes out. So, no, they're not releasing it to build hype for the game. Why haven't there been good game movies? I have an answer for this, in my opinion, but
I think the people that make the game are no longer involved, and just like a book gets destroyed because studio execs demand that a movie does certain things to make money instead of appealing to a fan base
Sure.
or being faithful to the source material. You know, it's funny that one of my favorite book to movie translations was Ender's Game, and that movie did fucking terrible. It was really faithful to me, and like 90% of the movie. But I think studios would rather make a big blockbuster like Assassin's Creed, so they had that stupid back harness bullshit instead of just laying them in a bed in an Animus. They had this like VR room where he's like attached to this big arm. I don't know, whatever. Like
Yeah, that's actually like
obviously-
Assassin's Creed canon though. So
it is
yep,
the arm thing.
yep.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, the latest Tomb Raider, they finally got their shit together. It's because somebody finally said, let's just be faithful to the source material. Yeah, what was your answer though, Caleb? You said you had one.
Oh, it's because they try to make games based on they try to make movies based on the plot of games instead of movies that take place in the universes of games. I think, like Prince of Persia was like, what if we took the first game and turned it into, and then Assassin's Creed. Like, I think you could tell a better story.
That story could have been told very easily in a movie. They just didn't.
Right, but like the people that are all like, oh, if you could, I don't want a Mass Effect movie because I've played the games. I don't want a Halo movie because I've played the games. Well, what you do is you make a Mass Effect movie about the first contact war we have with the Turians because that's not in the games.
Us with.
Yeah, or when you make a Halo show, make it about something other than the 5 games or the 7 games that are out. Although I would watch an ODST movie or TV show, especially if Nathan Fillion was still a part of it.
What's one game you wish would they'd make a movie out of? And not
Assassin's Creed.
not with the fear that it's going to get messed up. Like, let's just pretend that it would do an amazing job.
Rocket League.
Yeah.
I
One.
think that would be a really cool fucking movie, actually.
I mean, it could be. I mean, I would love a racing, a more like
Adam Sandler's going to be in that bitch.
like Pixels.
Yeah.
I would argue that like some racing games would make great movies, like the Wipeout games. Like you're doing a Wipeout little mini comic right now. Like I think getting a Wipeout game or movie, sorry, could be
Anti-Gravity Racing League movie. Hell yeah!
Fuck yeah, let's go. I'm down. Make it like Rush or fucking
Get Ron Howard to do it.
Yeah, or James Mangold because he fucking crushed Ford v Ferrari. Gears of War would be a good,
I think Gears would be good.
yeah.
And now that we've seen,
Wait, there's a
Batista in
Gears
armor-
movie being made. Y'all know this?
Really?
Yeah, at E3, the guy that's in charge of the coalition, this was one of the most offhanded comments that was made at that show that like no one reacted to. But he was like, we're working on Gears Tactics and Gears 5, and we got the Gears movie, and then we're doing all this other stuff, and they just moved right past it. And I was like, this motherfucker just said Gears movie, and I still don't know anything about it, but I know Dave Bautista wants to be a part of it. So like, Splinter Cell, for sure. That's also in limbo and being made. And Tom Hardy's signed on. So,
Damn.
waiting for that. And The Division's also got a movie coming that's got Jessica... It's going to be a show. It's going to be a Netflix show. And it's Jessica Chastain and Jake Gyllenhaal.
It's
Also,
not interesting to me.
Why not?
It's not. It's not interesting.
Why
premise.
not? You have to
Not an
fucking
interesting premise to me.
qualify...
A virus ends society, and then a bunch of rebels try to steal resources, and like, okay, cool. Like, I don't know. It's just
No, the interesting story to me in The Division is that the government created an organization, a branch of the military that lived in plain sight for years waiting for a cataclysmic event to be activated. And you have guys that were like at the firehouse with their friends getting ready to respond to a call, and their watch turned orange, and they went, I gotta go, and then just fucking walked out. Or like people at home eating dinner that were just like, I gotta go,
Right,
and then
well,
just
how many
disappeared.
episodes would that take?
That's
like episode 1.
No, man, be
And
creative.
what?
That's the story you tell. You tell the story of people that were living full lives, just abandon that shit to respond to something, and then like society as a whole realizing like all these people were people I fucking worked with or knew or lived next door to, and now they're like fighting a war downtown over fucking control of that sounds
with a
dope
big
to
enough
me.
budget. With a big enough budget, it could be cool.
Yeah,
I
there's a
would
movie
just
about
be-
people opening a chocolate shop in a town that's Catholic. This movie could be cool.
Well, but you're
It
talking about a
actually-
full-scale war in downtown Manhattan. That sounds expensive.
It should probably be a TV show, if anything.
It is. The Division's going to be a Netflix show.
Yeah. So it doesn't need a movie. The movie would be bad for the Division because there's too much going on.
There's not enough time to tell the story. Yeah. Movies are bad for a lot of big IPs.
What I would like for somebody to do is do like a movie game like co-op, to where like the game comes out
Yeah.
and then a movie
Ah,
happens in between the first game and the second game. But if you play the second game without watching the movie, you miss out on lore.
Ryan,
See
I'm
that-
going to introduce you to a little game called Enter the Matrix.
Okay, well,
Enter the Matrix had characters from the movie shot in film in the game,
right.
and you would play like you played as the team that took out the power plant before Neo saved Trinity from that falling
Right.
skyscraper. Like you actually played the in-between scenes. It's pretty cool.
Right. No, I played that a while back, but
Yeah.
didn't the game come out after the movie though?
I
I think the game came out after the movie because they're not going to
Maybe.
sell a Matrix movie without having the hype of the movie itself.
See, go ahead.
I feel like if they have the right I don't know, I feel if they have the right idea with the game, they could definitely make it to where the lore from the movie is
yeah, that could be great.
would be super good to be able to like you gotta watch a movie like they could do it. It's possible. Like if
Yo.
they did it with Halo.
You need to play Quantum Break.
But that was a movie in a game.
So you'd play a chapter of the game and then get a full TV episode, and then play another chapter of the game and get a full TV episode, and the TV episodes changed based on the decisions you made in the game. To the point where like my grandma saw different things happen in the show than I did.
Right.
And she was like, "Remember when that guy got shot?" And I was like, "He did not get shot in mine at all."
That's awesome.
And people fucking hated the TV show part of that game, and I fucking loved it.
But it's, I mean, I get that because you're controlling the TV show in the game, but it's not what I'm talking about.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
you're not,
it is something different, but like,
it's a little different, I guess. Yeah, yeah.
and then yeah, of course, somebody in the chat mentioned Defiance. Have you heard of that, Ryan?
I have not.
Yeah, it was
Someone, the hybrid himself mentioned that in chat.
it was
glass-
somebody.
the
It was
glass-
somebody inconsequential.
Glassmaster Flash. It's some unimportant.
Yeah, and then St. Louis was in that shit too, and it didn't look anything like it. It put us like in a ravine or something. watching the glass shatter in chat right now.
I mean,
Yeah,
I think
that was that experiment with that, Ryan, was exactly what you're trying to do, and it didn't do it very well. So I'm not saying your idea is flawed, but 2 or 3 years, 4 years, 5, it doesn't matter.
2012.
Wow.
Yep.
So it might change.
It might work now. Yeah.
Oh
sure,
no, I'm not
sure.
saying it's flawed. They could try again and do it right.
Well, look at like
They
Bandersnatch.
didn't.
Look at Bandersnatch. We're getting movies that are interactive now. So having games based on interactive media might not be a big leap for some people. I think, Ryan, the biggest thing competing with that right now is that like people that play games don't want to have to consume something else to get more story, which is literally the reason why people bitched about Halo 4.
Accurate.
Is
But-
because
but-
there are dozens of books you can read, and there were shows that were out that you could watch, like Halo Legends, that told stories about what happened in the game. But if they went into the game and didn't know that stuff because they were supposed to have watched a show or read a book, they were like, "Fuck you! It's supposed to all be in the games," and I hate that shit.
Well, it's no, that sounds a little too basic. I think the problem was the new game was using so many proper nouns, and it left me in the dust, and everybody around me was saying, well, I read it, so it makes sense to me.
Everybody,
I
it was
was a-
me. It was me, motherfucker. That
No,
was it.
and Caesar, I believe, and maybe even Moncho. Like, everyone's like, what? This makes sense. That's the library. He's blah, blah, blah. Like, okay, but you left me in the dirt.
But we also just replayed it, and like when that scene happened, we were like, "Oh, it does explain everything."
It does, but like I've also played it for the third time now, so I don't know if that's quite,
But when was the last time you played Halo 4 before 3 months ago? 5
It's
years ago?
my third playthrough. Like it's gonna make more sense the more you play it.
We were playing through that game, and you kept saying, "I don't remember any of this." So, third playthrough or not, it was probably still fresh enough that it.
I'm not going to discount my original impulses in that they purposely overcomplicated it to compensate for the books, to reward the people who followed the lore.
Yo, Zing makes a good point. We played through that game the first time in a group of people, and there's a good chance that group of people distracted from you understanding it the first time.
Maybe.
And this time we deliberately shut up so that Nan could pay attention.
Yeah, I don't want to take away from the fact that I think my opinion is very important.
Yeah, and that you haven't gotten better at understanding things in 8 years.
No, I'm not the only one that complained about that. That game definitely went down a road of rewarding its readers and overcomplicating a story because it has books.
I don't think it Okay, I can't weigh in because I read the books.
Right.
But I also wasn't confused by the game.
Because you read the books.
Nah, man, the game puts everything on the fucking table. The librarian touches Chief on the
Who the fuck is the librarian?
She tells you in the cutscene when you meet her.
Cool.
How many characters do you meet in a game that tell you exactly who they are in one cutscene when you meet them?
Every single game I've ever played.
Bullshit, you're playing Death Stranding. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Well, Death Stranding tells you a story over 60 hours, so you know you're not going to get all the information up front.
Yeah, but even still, most games aren't like, here's a character and backstory. Now play the game. They're like, here's a character, and you learn who they are as they go.
Here's part of it, too. I think we're not used to overly complicated characters in Halo. You've got the Master Chief. Okay.
Yeah.
You get Sarge.
Yeah.
You get Sarge. Got it. Right. Cortana was pretty flat for the most. She's a computer chick. Cool. Right.
Yeah.
Captain Keyes was a captain.
Hot take. The reason why people didn't like Halo 4 is because they wanted their Halo to stay stupid and dumb and straightforward and characters that are cardboard cutouts. And when they started putting characters in there that had some nuance, they were like, this is too hard. And didn't like it.
That sounds exactly like me. No, I think maybe some people felt that, but when people said, "Oh, you should have read the books," I'm like, "Well, fuck you then," because no. I mean,
so Ryan, why do you want a show? Why do you want media outside of games to give you story that you need for the games? Do you just want like to see the media happen? Do you want to see like game
he wants
stuff?
To see the mingle. He wants to see the mingle, right?
The what?
The mingling. He wants to see things.
I just heard Mimo. He wants to see the Mimo.
He wants to make a Mimo.
What?
Here's all the people.
Yeah, I also thought he was like, "Are you doing the steeple thing right now?" I'm confused.
I'll let you answer, but that was my.
No, I just noticed like the whole with Witcher coming out with a TV show. I mean, it's not a movie, but with Witcher coming out with a TV show, people were like, maybe I should go play Witcher.
It's true.
And that fact of like nowadays people are bringing together all kinds of media to where they're playing games and watching TV shows and the movies that are surrounding all of these games and or the games that are surrounding these TV shows and movies. It's what people are doing now. They're bringing media together. It's not like people are just playing video games. There's a lot of people that are just playing video games, but at the same time, you know, like they're people are wanting to play the new Marvel game. I know it's a Marvel game, but I guarantee a lot of it is from watching the Marvel movies. A lot of people that have probably never played the old like Marvel Ultimate Alliance and that kind of stuff are going to want to play the new Marvel game because they saw how great of an experience that they got from the actual Marvel universe in the movies. And if you make it to where, you know, they have a Marvel movie and then or they have a Marvel game that comes out and then there's a movie that, you know, because this game is going to be 10 years later, is going to be the second game. What happened in that 10 years? Like,
right.
Let me know what that happened, and let me watch a movie. I can watch an hour and a half movie instead of buying another $60 game to fill that 10 years worth of time before you make that third game. And so now I'm $180 into games and for having 3 games instead of $120 plus a $10 movie. Like it just I think it would make the experience a lot better to where you can just get some of the information. And how often do they make a fucking game? Some of these sequels are like 2 years later. But if
Yeah.
they fucking movie smack dab in the middle to fucking keep me interested instead of me waiting for another 2 years, like I feel like that would be a lot better than what I'm doing now.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I love the gap between games, but I do think that it is long. But that movies used to be like that too.
Yeah.
We used to get a movie and then 2 or 3 years later get its sequel. Like the original Star Wars release schedule was like 77, 82, and 84. So you had 4 years or 5 years between the first one and Empire. And now there's a Marvel movie every year. And I think that's also a thing that like might bleed through and confuse people when they think like, man, why is this taking so long? Is that like we got 3 Captain America movies in 10 years. We just got 17 other Marvel movies. So it felt like there was always a sequel in quotations.
Yeah.
Where if you only liked Captain America and you didn't fuck with anything else, you would watch a movie and then wait 2 years and then watch a movie and then wait 2 years.
Weird. I wonder if there's people out there like that.
Maybe. Maybe. I mean, like, I am that way with DC, right? Like, I watched the Batman movies and then I watched Superman, and I have not fucked with Justice League or Batman vs. Superman.
Or Shazam.
Or Shazam. I saw Joker, which arguably is not a DC movie.
Wonder Woman.
I haven't seen Wonder Woman either.
Oh, wow. That's a good one.
The first one?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the second one's
Oh, yeah,
not
the
out
second
yet.
one's not out yet.
Yeah. But yeah, I haven't fucked with anything else DC because like I like Batman. Oh, I haven't seen Aquaman either. I haven't seen
I haven't
Aquaman
seen
either.
anything since the Christian Bale Batman.
Yep, the Nolan trilogy was the only Batman I've watched,
That's the
and then I
only
watched
one I've
I watched
enjoyed.
Superman.
And then they turned him into Spider-Man and are gonna have like 6 different Batmans now, like they used to have.
Into the Spider-Verse is a great movie. Hang on.
No, I meant like
No, he's talking about like a new actor every.
Oh, got you. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm excited for.
Who hates being a superhero? Who would hate that?
They hate it after they see the reviews for their movie.
Well, Ben Affleck quit being Batman because fans were assholes.
Yeah.
Which sucks.
Christian Bale quit being Batman to go play in whatever fucking dumb movie that was. I have to look at, it's so dumb.
One of the greatest actors of our generation.
The fuck was it? Yeah,
Oh.
I'm gonna look this up.
Idris Elba as John Stewart. Let's go. Let's go. I want it. I would watch a Green Lantern movie if Idris was John Stewart.
You can move on. I'll
No, we're gonna wait.
Hold
Yeah,
on. Dead air until he figures it out.
I can't anymore.
That's fine.
Oh, there he goes.
now you can't look at me.
Oh man, I don't know. I still don't know for sure what property I want to be made into a movie. Right? Like, I think Splinter Cell's definitely up there. Mass Effect is definitely up there. Halo's definitely up there.
I'd like a true Mega Man.
How would you make that into a movie, though? I feel like it would get the. I feel like it would get the
Very
Sonic.
simple story. You got two competing scientists. One's making a league of evil robots, and one creates one super robot to take them on. That's easy. You know,
Yeah, I feel like
adventure
it's.
story.
I feel like that would get Sonic treatment though, because
It
Sonic's
probably would,
Sonic's
but
a really simple story too.
My basis of this topic was to not fear the worst case scenario,
Well, I
but to
don't-
actually be a faithful adaptation. In which case, Sonic never. Well, that's not true. Sonic, ever since Sonic Adventure, has always been dorking around with humans. So that's not what I wanted, but clearly everybody else did. But Mega Man's always been in his own world. You know, like he doesn't come to the human world or something. Like his world is the human world, and he's a robot, and the evil robot's destroyed it, and he fights to save it. And then you've got all the extended Mega Man stuff, like the Mavericks and the Maverick Hunters and Mega Man Zero and all this cool stuff. So I think it's got a huge universe that could be done really well. I think it'd be a great show too. I don't know. I think Mega Man's a huge universe.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even want it animated, but if Netflix wanted to do it as well as they did Castlevania, I would let them. You know what I mean?
Sure. I think Zelda would make a good show.
I
I think that's a thing, isn't it?
Isn't that a thing?
I think
Didn't
I
they
think I think
finally say it
Netflix.
was a thing?
I think Netflix is making a live action Zelda show.
Wow, that's gonna be insane. I don't even.
Or it's gonna be garbage.
Netflix doesn't really do that lately.
Have you seen some of the Marvel stuff they put out? Like Iron Fist?
None of it was garbage. Excuse me.
Iron Fist was not garbage?
No, it wasn't garbage. It wasn't like.
It's
come
hot
on.
trash.
No, go watch the first Daredevil movie. Let's get some perspective here
I mean, sure.
with Ben Affleck.
But how do you make a kung fu movie with a guy who can't do kung fu? A kung fu show about a guy who can't do kung fu.
Yeah, I hear you.
Ryan, did you find it?
Yeah, it's Exodus, Gods and Kings.
Oh yeah, well, he didn't leave Batman to do that. It's just the next project he did.
Yeah, it was the next
No.
project, but he gave up Batman.
No, he didn't. Christopher Nolan was gonna make 3, and then he was done. He didn't even want to make the third one because Heath Ledger died, and he had a whole movie planned with Batman and Joker.
Terrible.
First few shows they put out were great. Season 1 of Jessica Jones.
They gave him
bananas.
unlimited money to make Inception, and the deal was you do whatever you want. Here's some money. Go make a movie. Come back and do Batman, the third Batman movie. That was the deal.
Terrible.
Inception's so good. Can't wait for Tenet.
Tenet looks great.
I want Christopher Nolan to make a Splinter Cell movie. Let's fucking go. Time Splitters would make a dope movie too.
Yeah, it would.
Anybody remember that fucking game?
Yep.
Time Splitters would be dope.
You look around my studio here.
Yeah, that's what I was doing earlier. Spyro.
Yeah.
I'd watch an animated kids movie about Spyro.
Farm Sim.
Control would make a great movie, but Control basically is a movie.
That's why some of these games can't be made into movies.
That's honestly probably a pretty good point.
Yeah.
Like,
I was gonna say that in the beginning because you're like, why don't they make movies for video games? It's like, motherfucker, all these single player games are movies that you play.
Right.
Like,
You actually. So you want a game you can't play? That's cool.
yeah.
yeah, it's just called a movie.
Right.
But they're also, yeah. I mean, I would still kill for movies about.
There's also movies that you don't want as games, like John Wick. Like, I feel like that does pretty well on its own. I don't need a game for that.
I want a John Wick game. Fuck you. I want a John Wick game.
Play Hitman. Shut the fuck up.
God damn.
Or Splinter Cell again.
I mean, I'm always playing Splinter Cell. I think it was great. And Maxime Beland is back in Ubisoft, so we're getting one. Let's go. Ironside's been seen at the fucking voice studio for Ubisoft too, in California.
Super surprised that we don't have a Battle Royale movie yet.
What?
Brian.
You know that like Battle Royale games were inspired by a movie called Battle Royale from like the 80s or some shit, right?
Oh, really? No,
and
I if you didn't know, I wasn't around in the 80s, so I didn't know that.
You've seen Ghostbusters, motherfucker. Shut up. You weren't around when that movie came out either.
Also, you've probably heard of a little thing called Hunger Games as well, right?
Oh, that is totally Battle Royale too. Oh fuck. I didn't think about that.
Which was based on Battle Royale, the movie.
Not the same.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. You don't have teams that you're just.
You get put in a ring where you've got to find your weapons, and zones blow up, like spontaneously.
Yeah, Hunger Games is Battle Royale.
Yeah, but I mean,
the movie was more than that. But the Hunger Games, like the
I
games.
can't wait to fall in love with the last guy in a PUBG match so we can win together.
Yeah. Also, Ryan, like maybe we all need to get together and have like a cult movie night with like Mountain Dew and pizza, but watch Battle Royale because that shit is fucking wild. It's Japanese and it's really violent and super amazing. It's their children killing each other, I might add. High school kids.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, hang on. Difference between children and high school kids.
That really like.
Not to me.
For me.
Gross.
What?
They're not the same.
Yes, they are. They're children.
They're not. No, they're not. They're teenagers.
They're Utes, all right? Utes.
Them Utes. Get them Utes out my lawn. Oh God! All right. So, is anybody?
High school kids in school uniforms killing each other with explosives and baseball bats. It's incredible.
So for
Fuck yeah.
Catholic kids in uniforms.
No, it's like Japanese school uniform.
Yeah, like Japanese prep school uniform.
But it actually does look very Catholic. Actually,
Yeah, school
does.
uniforms all look Catholic.
plaid skirts and button-up shirts. And, yeah.
Yeah. I'm so fancy.
You said Asian schoolgirl uniforms.
I mean, yes, that's
Yeah.
that's it. That's it. That's
There
it.
are Asian girls in school uniforms killing each other. It's incredible.
Sounds
Yes.
terrible.
It's
So, is anybody playing anything they want to share?
Nope.
Talk about.
No, I'm not playing anything new. Nothing worth.
Playing Warframe.
I'm playing
I'm playing
Warframe.
Ark. Caleb has nothing that he actually decides to put his time and effort into.
What the fuck?
Oh, Shade Master General over here.
I'm playing a fuck ton of Call of Duty, and I found my joy in that game. I said that earlier. I was complaining about not wanting to unlock anything else because I found my jam, and I found out that the games I unlock in Call of Duty are the guns I unlock in Call of Duty are the ones that can be turned into something else. I used the G36, which is an LMG, until I could unlock the attachments to make it into an assault rifle. I'm doing the same thing for the SA-86, which is the L85, LA-85. I did the same thing with the Scar. I did the same thing with the Ram 7. So yeah, like playing that game, like I love the customization in that game, and I super hope that like Battlefield, when it inevitably comes out later this year or early next year, has the level of customization like that. Like I want to turn stuff into things that work better for me, not just the restricted this is what you get. But also Battlefield's been good about giving you too many guns. Battlefield 4 and 3 both had like dozens of guns.
Yeah.
And it was great.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep.
yes. The rumors we're getting a Bad Company 3. And if that happens, goodbye, Cruel World.
Probably won't.
Why wouldn't we?
Because it's been like 10 years already. So
So what?
I don't care.
Ryan's like, if you haven't made one in a long time, fuck it.
I don't care.
Halo, Battlefield.
Just make a Civil War Battlefield and just end my life.
That would be awful.
Fucking run
Civil
around.
War Assassin's Creed, I would fuck around with though.
Fucking shoot people with muskets on horses.
Boof, and then you have to like, hold on, I'm coming. That's a really bad
I would
motion.
Yeah. That was nice. I would just- somebody clip that animated GIF it
Do not do that.
drawing some cartoons. I would just, if I had to reload that gun and it took a minute, I would just throw it down and chase them with a hatchet or something. Like,
Haha, you missed me, bitch. Shing, and then run at him.
yeah.
Yeah.
But if they had some kind of mechanic where it was like 60 on 60 and everybody stood in a line, that could be kind of interesting for like a moment. Like say the game started in a line, and of course everybody would probably just rush at each other. But
That sounds dumb as shit.
yeah, I don't know. I think there's a cool way to make old warfare cool, like interesting, Revolutionary War, stuff like that.
But you didn't want Battlefield 5 because you were like, I've already seen too much of it.
I mean, it's true. It's true.
So what war game could they make that's a war in the past that you've not seen enough of?
Untapped, yeah. It's fucking Genghis Khan. Let's go. Right?
Oh, I mean,
Age of
sure.
Conquest, like they'll go into too much detail. Like you put babies on sticks, but like,
It's not going into too much detail.
Yeah.
The
It's
worst
not going into
detail.
too much
In the
detail
game.
like this.
in the game.
Oh, okay.
But like,
Kill
yeah.
streaks.
oh,
You get a kill streak and it's just a baby spear.
wow.
You said it, motherfucker. It's your
I
fault
know.
my brain went here.
You're welcome. But yeah.
I mean, For Honor is kind of that, though.
Babies on sticks.
No, swords
that's the
and
name of the episode.
swords and no, it's not swords and bows and shit like that.
But large scale Asian conflicts war. That would be great. That would be awesome. Please and thank you. Like the old Kurosawa movies, like Ran, and another one I can't think of.
Can you imagine a first-person game where there's 60 people running at each other with swords and how fucking dumb that would look? people jumping around and crouching and teabagging while they're sorting people to
It
death.
would never look as cool as
No,
if you wanted to. No.
the game would look stupid.
Tell you what though, I say if you want to jump, you have to like be a specific class that jumps. How about that?
Yes,
I'm
just
making
like
that-
as humans, you must be a specific class of
You're
human
wearing
who
an
can
8
jump.
set of armor. You're not jumping around like a moron.
No, they'd be trying though.
Things that give them lightsabers and you'd be all over it.
I mean, that's a weirdly specific drag. How did you know that one? And why? I mean, maybe. Oh my God! Can you imagine like a large scale Star Wars?
Fucking Battle Royale. Just
Like, oh my God! Star Wars Battle Royale?
Sith and Jedi just rolling at each other.
Not even, dude. Just
powers.
just regular ass fucking people. But like you go to shoot at somebody and then a lightsaber's like and fucking blocks that shit and you're like, we gotta go the other way.
Like you can only get lightsabers if you get them out of drops, like the gold weapons on Apex.
Sure, they're OP as fuck. If the next Battlefront has a battle royale, I'm down. I'm down. How would you make a Star Wars battle royale?
It would be easy. You just have fucking, well, maybe I don't know.
Hold on, you said it would be easy. You better fucking pony
I
up.
don't know. It would actually be fairly easy. You can just choose different characters. You can be Rebel or you can be like the First Order. So you're either going to be like a stormtrooper or one of the generals or like one of the random rebel guys. And then you would just have the random weapons laying on the ground with like a little bit of each world, like as the map itself. So like have like a sandy area like Tatooine and like a couple other things.
Oh, do the Black Ops 4 thing where every multiplayer map is worked into the over map in some way. Yeah.
Something like that. You can do like speeder bikes as like the way to get around if the map's big enough.
Oh, you find manuals that train you in abilities of the Force?
That would be cool.
I'll dig that, Panda. I dig that.
And
Yeah, Rebel and Imperial weapons scattered all over the place. So you've got like the MG42 Stormtrooper weapon that they had in that. Oh my God, pod racers for vehicles?
that would be sweet.
You would die. You'd hit one thing and explode.
Yeah, some guy just. Oh, I would want a Tusken fucking sniper rifle. Those long rifles that Raiders had.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you could even be that.
Fucking Mandalorians. A Mandalorian battle royale. Let's go.
Like you could just pick all these characters. You just have to unlock them. Like they don't do anything different for you. But like it's just a skin that you wear like fucking.
Dude, you could just call it the Trials of Mandalore and make it underlings who are trying to compete against each other for who gets their next plate of Beskar armor. And so the armor you pick up is Mandalorian armor on the ground. And so you know how equipped somebody is by how fucking Boba Fett they look when they walk around the corner. And you got jetpacks and wrist rockets. And fucking flamethrowers and grappling hooks.
What are those homing rockets that they use?
Yeah.
What the fuck were those called? The feather.
It was like Pheasant's Call or something like that.
Yeah, there's something about a bird. I knew that.
Yeah, because the jetpack was called Rising Phoenix,
Yeah.
and the other one was like a bird song or something like that. Dude, I want a battle royale called Trials of Mandalore right now. Give me a bunch of Mandalorians in a ring fighting.
Make it.
I'm gonna be on it today, and it'll be out tomorrow. See you guys in 12 hours, motherfuckers. Okay, well, it's been our allotted time about, and when we wrap up the show, we generally have a Smurf fact, and we haven't had contact or participation from Smurf in a minute. I think he's tied up in family sports with kids playing.
Do you have a random fact
basketball or something? I do not, but you were pretty adept at grabbing them, so I figured you could probably pull one up pretty quick. Can you? Well, while he's finding it, so you guys know, those of you who don't already know, at the end of the show we generally have a random fact that's generally given to us by the real D Smurf, our friend and frequent listener, and we read this quote or whatever it is with a catchy little tune. Ben, do you have a thing so I can play the tune?
Yes.
Because I built the tune into my computer so people can't. It's called Whistling Birds. Whistling Bird. is the thing that he shoots out of his arm. The rockets he shoots out of his hand.
Ah, okay.
I built the sound bit for Smurfact into the computer, so you can't yell at me.
Smurfax, oh yeah.
Boom, Smurfax. Oh yeah. I hate myself so much. Ben, read it, please.
Considering how a rooster's call can get up to 140 decibels or louder. That's louder than Times Square during rush hour, by the way. It might leave one to wonder how the rooster itself isn't deaf when that noise is coming right out of its beak. It turns out the farm fowl has built-in earplugs. Researchers found that when a rooster opens its beak to crow, its external auditory canals close off, preventing sound from coming in and serving as earplugs.
That's incredible.
It's pretty cool.
I need evolutionary earplugs for when I yell.
When your daughter yells.
Just
I think I need earplugs when you yell.
I'm gonna plug your ears when I yell.
Okay.
Thanks for that Smurfact, Ben. You're the best. Man, we've got stuff coming up. GDC's in March. There's a PAX in March. There's a bunch of stuff in June, like E3. There's a lot of stuff coming up this year and a lot of stuff to get excited about. We will be back with a more structured take at the podcast in the coming weeks. Sorry again about the disorganization. It was the holidays though, and I'm still recovering from that shit, getting back in my routines and stuff. So yeah, we'll be back on our grind coming up. Ryan and Ben are not the. I work in retail, so I'm still recovering from holiday shit because it ended for me about 6 days ago. So yeah, that's the thing. I don't know why Brian just moaned. That's weird.
He's pooping his pants right now. That's just what it looks like.
Oh man. We post the podcast on Fridays. You can listen to it on Google Play or Spotify or Stitcher or iTunes. You can find all of the important social links and what we write, read, and create at nerdybits.com. So head there to check that stuff out. You can find me, your boy, at Lubwub on Instagram, Twitter, Xbox, and PlayStation. Ryan, where can people find you?
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy.
You can find me on Mixer, Twitter, and Xbox, and Instagram at Sergeant Sodium.
Yeah. Ben, where can people find
Sawyer.
Okay.
Sawyer Sketch.
SawyerSketch.info.
.net.
Yeah. SketchSawyer.com. Just go there. There's lots of shit to do. And I got a newsletter, and it's cool. Oh, I got to make one of those.
And a comic book that drops, like, yesterday.
I finished a long-running series, yes, called Blaster Master. It's based on an old video game called Blaster Master.
Called Master Blaster.
From the NES days. But it's not really... If you don't know what that is, it's still a good story about a kid who saves the world. So that's fun.
Yeah, of course. We will be back next week. Thank you for listening. Are we gonna play Gang Beasts after this?
I am going to play for a little bit, yes.
Gang style.
And I gotta sleep before too long. So
well, don't we all? Thanks for listening, everybody. Thanks for watching. Those of you who are here, we will be back in a moment to play some Gang Beasts, and we will catch you guys on the podcast next week. Adios, motherfuckers.
bye bye.
Toodles.